Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. The way I see it, there is no moral or psychological high ground in parent-adult-child estrangement. Everybody, first of all, is someone's adult child. And many estranged adult children are also someone's parent. So right off the bat, there are not two distinct sides in estrangement. There's only one group of people having struggles in the parent-child relationship. But for the sake of discussion, let's consider them two sides, with estranged adult children on one side and the parents they're estranged from on the other. As a therapist and as a person, I believe the two sides are equal in all the ways that matter, and that the solution to the painful problem they share lies in reconnecting first with themselves, and then, as that becomes more and more possible for them, with each other. I talked about the problem of disconnectedness in episode 212, which you can listen to at reconnectionclub.com/212. Whichever side of estrangement we're on, the minute we claim that one side has a problem or is the problem, both sides lose ground because we're no longer seeking a solution. We're placing blame. And blame is not a solution. Yet that's exactly what I see happening more and more. Not so much inside the Reconnection Club, thank you members, but in the news media and on social media and in the popular discourse. So let me make my claim in the interest of contributing to a peaceful and effective approach to estrangement. The idea that there's one group of good, reasonable people over here and another group of character-disordered individuals victimizing us over there is not, in my opinion, reality. I don't see estrangement as a matter of good versus evil. It's so much more complex than that. In estrangement, the real evil is ignorance. Ignorance of the fact that we are all human beings, flawed, yes, but never worthless. And each of us is responsible for doing whatever personal work we might need to do to make the relationships we want possible in our lives. My training in psychology, my understanding of the research, and my clinical and personal experience all tell me that parents on the one hand and estranged adult children on the other, as groups, they probably have similar levels of kindness, openness, sensitivity, moral strength, intellectual ability, and emotional intelligence. Yes, emotional intelligence. The label may be relatively new, but the substance, the essence of it, is not. Both groups are also likely to have similar incidences of personality disorders, including narcissism, complex trauma, substance use issues, poor relationship skills and habits, and emotional immaturity. The incidence of all of those characteristics and conditions in both groups is most likely more similar than different. In all of the psychological research that's been done, not just in estrangement, but in all of psychology, none, to my knowledge, has uncovered any significant personality differences between people who are voluntarily or involuntarily estranged from family. There's a lot of evidence that children learn and perpetuate the attachment and communication styles of their parents, suggesting that maybe in relationships, parents and their adult children might be more alike than different. However, both adult children and their parents are capable of change throughout their lives if they apply themselves, which means that if you look at a particular parent and their particular child, one of them might be much more emotionally mature, for example, than the other. Or not. Individuals vary so much, but looking at both groups on the whole, estrangement is not proof that anyone is immature, spoiled, or character disordered. Estrangement indicates only that there's some trouble in the relationship between the people involved. Very often, estrangement signals that Some change is needed for the relationship to function better. That's it. There may be intractable cases near the margins, but most people experiencing estrangement can hope for a better relationship if needed changes can be understood and safely embraced without excessive shame or blame. Behavior expert B.J. Fogg says, "We change by feeling good about ourselves, not by feeling bad." In his book, Tiny Habits, he explains that the most important element of forming a new habit is to celebrate small steps. But on both sides of estrangement, small steps are often ignored or even actively rejected. For example, an estranged adult child maybe sends a text to say Happy Mother's Day, but the mom is so hurt and disappointed by receiving only that single line of text that she can't bring herself to respond. And without reinforcement, the habit of sending anything on Mother's Day quickly fades away. As another example, a parent sends an inexpert apology to their estranged adult child, but instead of recognizing the attempt to apologize for what it represents, the adult child indicates, through silence or in words, that it's simply not enough. And so an opportunity to make progress together is lost. Both sides, in their own ways, accept both too little and too much responsibility for the trouble between them. As a group, parents tend to focus on external influences to explain their children's distancing, as if it has nothing to do with them. And at the same time, they may quietly blame themselves, raking over the coals of the past and condemning themselves for every mistake they feel they made in parenting. Estranged adult children tend to focus exclusively on their parents' shortcomings, rather than on the more accessible but challenging problem of communicating their needs or holding boundaries at close range. And yet they too suffer in estrangement, often believing themselves to be bad sons or daughters, ignoring the struggle and pain in their own decision to cut ties. Both adult children and the parents they walk away from are human beings, flawed and imperfect for sure, doing what they can with the tools and the skills and the knowledge that they have. Nowadays, both sides can reach out and receive support during estrangement, thank goodness. Unfortunately, there are people waiting on both sides to tell them that the other side is toxic, selfish, or weak. It's my position that there is no solution in an us versus them mentality. There is only continuing conflict and separation and loss. So please beware of internet bunkum that paints your estranged adult child as brainwashed, mentally ill, selfish, cold, or ungrateful. Any of those might be true for your child, but all of them are simplistic caricatures of adult children generally, and they're dead ends for you. So let's hope there's more to the story and more to your child than that. Whatever else they might be, your adult child is an individual, again, flawed and imperfect, but lovable just like you, who deserves to be understood as a complex human being with a unique personal story. Your child is probably not just someone's brainless puppet. They're definitely not their entire generation, not their mental illness, and not a faceless trend, but a person who's tremendously important to you. Focus on the causes of connection between the two of you, and don't be distracted by shiny objects online or anywhere that could be genuinely toxic to your relationship. Listen to episode 204, Causes of Connection, and start planning now for reconciliation. Go to reconnectionclub.com/204 to listen to that episode. I urge you to remind yourself often that we're all in this together. There is no them. There's only us. Each of us is somebody's adult child, grown up, but still growing and learning, and in many cases, still healing. The more self-compassion we develop, the more kindness and understanding we can bring into all of our relationships, and the more appealing it will be to seek common ground instead of the moral high ground. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.